Good morning, everybody. um, a couple things I want to talk about today. Let's talk about men's mental health and men's, mostly mental health. Um, I saw a thing this morning. I've been up for like 2.5, 3 hours so far. Okay, I'm recording this at almost 7:30 in the morning. Okay, I don't know why I've been up so long. I have no idea why I got up so early. No, I don't know anything. Um, so let's talk about men's mental health. Okay, all right. I saw a post about how Dana White, uh, the CEO, I guess, of UFC now, was talking about how men shouldn't be going online and saying that they're sad and depressed because they're the providers. I don't really know how those two things correlate with each other personally, but I guess if Dana White says it, I guess it's fucking true, huh? I think this is a really big problem that we're having right now in this country with men's mental health. Personally, not personally. I don't have. I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying this is a problem that we're having, and that's my personal opinion. Um, where we're still trying to fit men into, well, not everybody. The right wing people are trying to fit men into the same box they've always been in. Um, Whereas we're seeing a lot more uh, women, able to break out of the box that they've been have been put in for so long. And I think this is a really big problem because, listen, I'm a huge feminist. Feminism is not just for women, it's for men too. We should not be having all these expectations on men, and while we're trying to get less expectations on women and their uh, traditional gender role, if they believe that's a real thing. Um, and I think a lot of people really need to understand men also need to break out of this box. And I think a lot of it has to do with, especially right now, the white supremacists that are trying to take over the country. I'm sorry. I'm sure you've heard this a lot. But it is true. I mean, these guys, Steve Bannon had literally admitted going on to like 4chan and stuff and into like video games and stuff and trying to like make, I don't know if he'd been into video games himself, but he would have people like go like recruit guys who were like incels and try to like convert them into white nationalists. And listen, whatever you think about how the country was formed or whatever, this is a big problem. We cannot keep allowing this to happen. We have to start. We have to really start talking about men's mental health. Listen, I'm not one to preach at anybody. You don't have to do. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. But I think a lot of what we're seeing right now, especially, it's coming from a place of wanting to be heard, I guess. And I think a lot of it really has to do with how, and I'm not saying that like this is going to be like an overnight fix. This is going to take a long time. Just like feminism, took centuries to get to where we are now. It's going to take time to get men thinking a different way. And since I am a man and I understand men pretty well, I think, I'm here to talk to you specifically, men. For millennia, men were seen as the providers. We now know that's not always true. And I think we need to really start breaking out of this box of provider. I don't think men have to provide. I think you can if you want. If you and your partner, wife, boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whatever the fuck, decide one of you is going to be the provider, go ahead. Personally, I don't know how you could do that right now in this country that we're in, but if you can, good luck to you, man. I'm really happy. I'm using man as a non-gendered term. Okay, it's for anybody. But I think it really starts with how we treat the provider role. Most people don't have the option to just stay home all day and do nothing. I put that air quotes because actually most people who do stay home do unpaid labor. I'm sure we all know that by now. But a big problem is really, honestly, is most people, you can't do a traditional gender role, and I think that's really affecting a lot of people. I think now, of course, this is just my opinion, of course, but I think trying to go back to traditional gender roles, I think that's really fucking men up right now, because they want to be the providers, some of them, and want to be but being that means you have to work twice as hard as, or at least twice as long, probably not twice as hard, twice as long as you usually had to, and that's not good for anybody. I don't care who you are, I don't care what you do. Nowadays, with everything being so goddamn expensive, you are gonna have to work even longer, and that's not good for anybody. We really need to start. I've started myself. I think we really need to start allowing people to have a work-life balance, and this starts with men, obviously. Not just kidding, but it starts with, you know, blue collar workers, or a poor people. I wouldn't say my job is blue collar at all, but we don't really have manufacturing. We don't, coal mines are starting to really dry up. Oil production is going to really halt in the next 10 to 15 years. We're almost out of fossil fuels as it is, which is not helping the climate crisis at all. So, a lot of current blue collar work, I guess you would call it, would be retail, which is what I do. I work in a pharmacy, actually, but I've worked in multiple retail stores, and it's retail pharmacy. Doesn't matter. Point is, retail, I think, is really the next one to get cut, and that sucks to say because I love working at my job, and obviously I don't want that to happen. But with AI and everyone shopping online, that's probably going to go the way of the dodo, which sucks to say. But anyway, not the point. The point is, I don't think it's helpful to tell people that they have to provide, because once you tell people they have to do something, especially men are very literal people, and as far as again, I think I understand men pretty well. Men are pretty literal, so if you tell them they have to do something, they're gonna, like me, I might, verbally fight you, but I'm gonna do it anyway, because that's what I have to do, right? So, it does affect men in a different way, and it's probably just how our brains are wired, because our brains are wired to make everything a serious thing, which is not fun all the time, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but nothing I can do about it. But I think you really need to break away from the men are the providers. It's at this point in history, it's just not. You can't do that. There's no way. If you're in a relationship, dating somebody or married or whatever, you're both gonna have to work. Like, that's just what it is. Unless you get super lucky with a really good paying job and one of you can stay home, I guess that's fine. But and I also think that if it's like school for kids, right? You put them in public school and they meet all these different kinds of people, different backgrounds, different religions, all that kind of stuff. Which I think that's why I think public school is good. I think everyone should go to public school. I think you should be forced to go to public school, personally. I don't think there should be any private schools or anything, but that's a different conversation. The conversation I want to have right now is going to work is like going to school. And you meet different people from different walks of life. And I think that really helps people. I think that really helps men probably a little more, because even though people as a whole are social creatures, I think men can be more social than women. I'm gonna make a really, really stupid argument right now, but I think it's true. I think men are, well, I've heard this a lot from other people. Men are dogs. Like, we just have to be out and about and socialize. Now, of course, there are exceptions to the rule, but most guys I know are dogs. They're dogs. And I think most women, again, there are exceptions to the rule, but I think most women are cats. And they don't care what happens. They just want to do whatever they want to do. And probably not socialize as much. Now, again, of course, I'm going to say it again. There are exceptions to the rule. But in general, that's what I've seen anyway. And which is probably, honestly, probably why the men go to work and the women usually stay home, because that's just how we are. But I think going to work is good. I think going to public school is good. I think this stuff it's needed, obviously. Like, I'm married. I'm sure you know that. But I have been trying to force my wife to kind of, go out and make some friends, and obviously she's not going to at this day and age. But you never know, I guess. But I think it's more than just, oh, men are this or men are that. I really think that putting this much pressure on people, especially young men, especially 18-year-olds who don't even know who the fuck they are yet, I think is really affecting people, and it might even be stunting their brains. I don't have actual evidence for that. I don't have any studies for that. But I've seen stuff like that. I'm using anecdotal evidence, I am, but you never really know, I guess. But I think it does. I think it's done something in their brain. That could be lots of reasons. I mean, the stunting in the brain could be lots of reasons why that happens, but I think it's a big driver of and trying to make kids grow up earlier than they probably should. I mean, that's a conversation. Again, there's all these little tangents we could have right now, but I think right now especially, I think we need to stop focusing. I think the real problem is too much left-wing infighting. You scroll through Threads or you scroll through Instagram or whatever. Those are the only two social medias I have. I don't care. YouTube, I guess. But there's no reason for us to be purity testing so hard right now. Since everyone is against Trump and everyone's against MAGA, we should just allow people to be in the party until we can actually, until we can stop this regime. Because right now, the real problem that's happening is the fascists try to take over. That is the big, broad, macro problem right now. And if you don't agree with that, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You just are. Micro problems are all these other little things, like people not being left enough, people not wanting this or that or whatever the fuck. But right now, I think really stopping the macro problem, I really think would help a lot of the societal ills we have right now, including men being so fucking depressed. And I think another problem is that we don't force men to go to the doctors. I say as a man who doesn't go to the doctors, because I don't care. I just don't care. And I think that's also a real problem. Not talking about your feelings and not talking about anything like this is really it really affects you. I should know. It happens to me. I've been told I need anger management, and I'm not going to go to anger management because I don't want to. That sounds like a man to me. This is crazy to me. But anyway, I guess that's all I really have right now. What are your thoughts on it? This was gonna be a double thing, but I don't want to talk anymore for this video. So, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments. We are on the road to, I guess, 5,000 because we're almost at 4,000. So, if you like my videos, I do lots of different stuff. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. I like to do lots of things. So, if there's something in there that you like, cool. If you like these videos, I do a lot. I should probably start doing more of these personally, but I don't know, maybe. Um, I guess that's it. Have a good day.